the healing process is the feeling process. These gurus on social media that are preaching manifestation absolutely misunderstand manifestation and are teaching people toxicity because all of a sudden one session with the coach or one spiritual principle you learn and you are trauma free. What trauma does is it clouds our judgment and it becomes a part of our decision making process. Normal to start looking into spirituality when you're hurting badly. But what ends up happening is people find spiritual philosophies or a data point which kind of aligns with their worldview and it makes them feel good in the moment. Okay, so people derive some kind of joy or satisfaction through this principle. Now, the problem with that is, let's say someone has been traumatized and they're looking into spirituality to get some relief from their trauma. And they find this spiritual concept, whatever this spiritual concept is, it's not important. But if they find something that provides them satisfaction or momentary happiness, and they align with that theory, and they stop putting in work towards overcoming the trauma. So, in other words, all of a sudden, you claim to be trauma free and spiritual. Right? That's problematic. That's spiritual bypass. So, spiritual bypass is when you don't really do the work necessary, but you arrive all of a sudden to the state of the outcome. And a lot of times, these gurus on social media that are preaching manifestation absolutely misunderstand manifestation and are teaching people toxicity because all of a sudden one session with the coach or one spiritual principle you learn and you are trauma free. Also, on the contrary, if you have been the offender, if you have caused offense, and this offense can be a minor offense to a major offense that has caused somebody trauma, that has caused somebody or a group of people or millions of people for that matter, and it's altered their course of life in a significant way, right? And you say to yourself that you have no regrets and you gotta make amends and move on because you need to forgive yourself. That's a popular one, right? You need to forgive yourself, and you forgive yourself and move on, and you say that you have no regrets for the hurting you caused other people because you kind of don't want to face that feeling. You would much rather bypass doing the work because it's tough. It's tough when you've been the offender and you cause somebody hurt to all of a sudden, like, have to go through iterations of amends, iterations of personal exploration, iterations of feeling all kinds of feelings of guilt, shame, and working through them. It's a lot of work sometimes, depending on what kind of harm, what kind of hurt we have caused to this other person. So, being afraid of doing the work, it's easy for people to resort to quick fixes. And the personal development industry, the self-help industry, the spiritual development industry today is filled with gurus preaching quick fixes to problems or to things that should not take one session with a personal coach to fix. One book is not enough. 10 books is not enough. Doing the work and dedicating yourself to doing the work. And of course, with the mindset that you accept the fact that you are doing the work, but you are not a bad person because of the work that you need to do to make amends. Or again, flip it back to, if you're not the offender, if you have been hurt, and if somebody has done this offense on you and now you need to overcome that trauma, yes, it's hard work, but ultimately doing the work, and that doing the work could mean personal work. It could be working with a therapist, it could be working with a coach, with an intention to really sit with those uncomfortable feelings and process those uncomfortable feelings to the point where they stop triggering you and they stop altering your decision-making process. You individuate yourself from your traumas or the traumas that you've caused other people. Because when a trauma is generated, whether it's us generating the trauma on other people, or it's trauma being generated on us, or we are causing the trauma for ourselves, what trauma does is it clouds our judgment and it becomes a part of our decision-making process. So when the true work is done, and when we really focus on clearing and healing and not feeling better about things, because clearing and healing can entail a lot of emotions that you would rather not deal with, that you need to deal with point in time. Okay, so the clearing and the healing process needs to be embraced, and we need to be okay with feeling hurt, feeling bad, feeling terrible. This is how we heal. We heal by feeling the feelings of us causing distress to other people, or the feelings of the traumas, the distress caused by other people to us. It's the same process. It's the feeling process. The healing process is the feeling process. And when we can fully do that, when we can fully sit with yucky feelings that make us want to throw up, then we've done our work. But if we're sitting here generating this false sense of security because we align with certain things that we heard on Instagram, or some guru that has hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're giving these advices like anything, clearly haven't done their own work, and you get enamored by the number of followers this guru has, and you give in to that, and you don't do all of your work that you need to do, what you're essentially doing is you're carrying the transgenerational trauma, and you're going to pass it on, whether it's to your offsprings or to the people you come in contact with, and you don't even know you're doing it. You don't even realize that your thought process has been completely clouded by this event that transpired in your life that you have not healed from. All right, that's what I wanted to say today. Spiritual bypassing is a dangerous, insidious phenomenon. And in today's world, where we are so fixated on quick fixes and everybody has an advice for your trauma, it's difficult to find the right thing to do. But I hope you get something out of this video and you Find a way to heal yourself in a way that you are no longer perpetuating the traumas, either the one you created as an offender or something that was done to you that caused you that trauma. You're not going to pass that trauma along. All right. If there's any questions about this, leave it down below on the comment section. I'll be happy to chit chat with you. Thank you, Coach KP. Peace.